Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Hello, fellow Fox fans. Welcome along. I know what you're thinking. What the bloody hell are you doing on Sunday afternoon? I should be at home watching One Man and His Dog. Premier League this season. It's all over the place. We're going to be talking opposition view today. We're going to be talking to a fan from Everton about the game after the game we've got tonight. It's so confusing. One thing that isn't confusing is this is what you're watching.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. Leicester Till I Die. Now available on Spotify.
It is. That's who we are. And normally at this point, I would say, and next up is, because obviously next up is Brighton, which is tonight. But we've done Brighton. So the opposition view this evening is a couple of guys who's involved. Yeah, we're going to be bringing in Mikey in a second from County Road Bobblers. I think I've said that right. And he'll probably explain what that means. I presume something to do with the hats, looking at his logo. But we'll be bringing him in. But this is, as I say, Leicester Till I Die. And if you are watching us, you can watch us live on YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. Please tick that little subscribe button. We are so close to our next goal of subscribers. We'd love to have you on board. Periscope, Twitter, which is at Leicester TID. Facebook, of course, is the Leicester Till I Die group. So you can catch us all over there, wherever we are. Hopefully you can hear us okay. I've just been told my mic might be a bit funny. And just so I don't know whether it's working or not. That's completely thrown me. If you are listening and it'll come up better, if you want to catch us up afterwards, we are on Google, Apple, Spotify and Anchor podcasts. You can catch us all over there. But let us, first of all, bring this guy in. He's waited long enough. It's Mickey. He's from the County Road Bobblers, a big Everton fan group there. And let's say good afternoon to Mikey. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks ever so much for inviting and having me on.
And you're welcome. Thank you very much for coming on. You said my mic, is it being a bit funny?
Mic's fine now. It just went a bit funny when you were introducing the show, but we can hear you loud and clear now.
Oh, brilliant. That's the main thing. As long as we can hear each other, we'll just sit here and have a natter. I've got to say, Guy says here, loud and clear, Cliff. Rob, thanks very much. I think most people don't want to hear me. That's the thing, though. If you look to your left, there's a nice picture of Audrey Hepburn with a nice bit of purple tinsel. There certainly is. Nothing wrong with a bit of Audrey Hepburn with a bit of purple tinsel on. That's what I say. Don't know what he's looking at. But explain, Mikey, first of all, explain the County Road Bobblers.
The County Road Bobblers are me and my mate's fan group for Everton. You might have heard of the anti-racism banner that we did for Moise Keane last year at Manchester City. So we're just a group of mates, and our the road that we go for a pint on before the game is called County Road, and we all wear game. So we just call ourselves Bobblers.
You Scousers, drink had to come into it somewhere along the line, didn't it? I mean, but you were saying this was obviously supposed to happen yesterday. It didn't. It's happening today. But you're in a lot better mood today.
Yeah. Well, after the performance last night against Chelsea, it was a great 1-0 win. So it's put us a lot closer to the position in the division where I'd like us to be, and the the number of points. I think if you look at the stats, etc., from last night's game, the possession-wise, Chelsea had all the ball, but we matched them for shots, corners, shots on target. So Ancelotti's tactics there were spot on. He let them have the ball, and we did what we had to do. And VAR did us out of another penalty again. So I'm very, very happy today.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. And we'll come on to sort of where you are in the league in a minute, because you're only a point behind us. Yeah. You're coming for us, as they say, but then again, we're still waiting for Tottenham to come for us, so we don't know when that's going to happen. But we're going to be. It's on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. The first time in weeks we haven't got a European game. We've got a free week, and they go and slot in a game on the Wednesday, which is why we're talking today, because otherwise we're not going to be able to fit you in. But we've got Brighton this afternoon, which hopefully we can do and make a bit of a gap. But looking at our history, it's quite close. We've actually played each other since we both formed 113 times. And once you get to know me, I love a bit of a stat. I'm a bit of a stat freak. We've won 38 and you've won 43. So pretty tight games there.
Not, to be fair, Leicester's not ever an easy game, no matter what. Look at it. Certainly, since you guys came back up into the Premier League, the most recent time, the games have been pretty close. I mean, I would imagine that we've won and lost just as many as each other. It's usually pretty level peg. We had a pair of 2-1s last year, didn't we? And
I was just going to say that. Yeah, we got you in December, just before Liverpool gave us a footballing lesson, unfortunately, and Norwich managed to get us from the bottom of the table. You then got us back in July, and to be honest with you, my nan's football, OAP group could have turned up and beaten us after lockdown last season.
Yeah, you really didn't do you any favours, did it? Lockdown last year, sort of fell to pieces. The best game out of all of the times we played last year, I think, was the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, we came back, didn't we? And Baines scored that screamer into the top corner.
That lucky shot.
It was a great. So a rise to Leighton of Baines.
It was a good one. It hurts me, but it was a good one.
So I go into the game with Leicester. Always hoping we can get something out of it, but knowing that it's definitely going to be a very difficult game. You guys, you play some great football, and you're a good team to watch. So I'm not massively confident.
No, and we're not, and I'm not not dropping names, but I just did a spot on Talk Sport this morning, and they were asking me sort of about the season, and I think it depends which Leicester turn up. I mean, you must be hoping that the Leicester that played Fulham turn up, bottom of the table 2-0, not the one, because you won't have watched it, but when we played AEK Athens midweek in the final group game for the Europa League, it was like watching Brazil. It really was. And the fact that it was only 2-0 wasn't right. But, do you look at us now thinking, like, after last season where we absolutely threw it away, and this season where, we can beat Man City 5-2, but we can lose to Fulham 2-0, you've got to be looking at us and thinking, we could get something from this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Everton and Leicester squads on paper aren't too dissimilar in terms of quality. Both got experienced, good managers. You've got Vardy, we've got Calvert-Lewin. Both know
he's on fire at the moment, isn't he?
He didn't score last night, but I can't. I mean, 14 this season in all competition.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the teams, they're quite evenly matched. But you just seem to have the way I described that we look at it. Last week we played Burnley away. You played Sheffield United.
Yeah.
We were 1-1 right at the end of the game. You had a big chance to win and you scored. We had a big chance to win and we drew. So that's where fine margins, and that's where Leicester are slightly better than Everton.
I mean, I look at Everton, and they're one of those teams. There's certain teams, not mentioning any names out there, that you hate as a particular fan. Most of ours are sort of fighting relegation at the bottom of the Championship at the moment. But you look at you look at the team, you think, I hate them and what have you. But with Everton, I kind of look at Everton and doesn't, you know, I don't have much feelings either way. If you were to do well or win anything, I'd be thinking great. If you weren't, I wouldn't feel sorry for you. But you've always sort of one of those teams that you want to break into the top 6, or probably more likely make it a top 7, but you've never quite achieved it of recent years, have you?
No, do you know, we've had some real bad luck with gambles that we've made. We got all this money, this massive investment from Machinery. Koeman took over and £250 million on awful football players, and those sort of 2-3 seasons has really set us back. We thought we could do it.
Yeah.
And, now we're starting to finally get the right structure in place. We've got a good director of football. We've got a good manager. The recruitment this summer was pretty much. It was the best summer in a while. So I'm quietly confident that we'll start to build now. But you are spot on. We've since David Moyes has left, we had one good season under Martinez, and since then we've been pretty much on a downward trajectory.
Well, what has happened to Martinez? He's done nothing, has he? I tell you, since he left. But I mean, I like you say, I remember that a few seasons ago, and I've forgotten the guy's name already. That was manager when he came in. That was supposed to be the saviour for you, and you spent an absolute fortune on players.
Yeah, Ronald Koeman, wasn't it? It was just
yeah. And I thought, this is it. You know, you literally did go out, and you've done the same. Again, I mean, you could say you've obviously got I think you've got a better manager now, to be honest with you. He's one that seems to be linked with us every time we have a gap. Is it going to be another false dawn, or do you feel confident that this is the season you might just do something?
I think for most Evertonians, I would say that if we could go on and win the Carabao Cup this year and finish in the top 8, now that would improvement on last year's absolutely bang average 12th position.
Yeah.
What Everton needs to do as a football club, we've brought in this summer, we've brought in players like Alan, Decore, Rodriguez, Godfrey. Now, they've all been quality additions to our squad. But what the problem does is we've got a lot of these players from previous are commanding massive wages that aren't, no one's going to sign them. So we need these to try and maybe bring one or two quality players in, and also show a couple of others the door.
It's you could be talking, asking me these questions. I'll be giving you the same answers. We've got you don't want an ex-Man City striker, do you? By any chance? He's going free. I offer him to every time we do an opposition show. I offer Inacho to the opposition team. We'll even drive him up there. I'll tell you.
He was linked with Everton just before you signed him, and I thought he'd be a pretty good signing for you. But
we did. I mean, I suppose he was in a Man City team that you and me could have really scored goals from, but
it wasn't difficult outside. When I look at that, especially at the start of last season. You were everything that I wanted us to be. The way football, the way you were putting teams to the sword. Your manager had come in. I mean, I love Tillemans, Maddison for you. I think they're great players. I think you've got a great keeper. Obviously, Jamie Vardy just seems to be like a robot. He never stops, does he?
I just hope he never gets old.
Not lost his pace or anything yet either, has he? So. I see Leicester as a bona fide challenger for top 4/top 6 positions every year now, I would say. And when you look at that fixture list, you always know it's going to be a difficult game to play.
Yeah, and I don't thank you. And I don't think I think this breaking into the top 6 is a bit of a myth, really. Because I think the top 6, or the big 6, I should say, will always be the big 6. All you can do is try and extend that to the big 7 or the big 8. Our expectations here as a club, since we won it, obviously it was amazing, and I wouldn't decry from that. You know, I'm still living on those stories now. But in a lot of ways, it's almost become like an albatross round our neck.
Yeah.
You know, because if we're not finishing, top 10, the manager's going. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't necessarily argue that any of them that we sacked should have stayed, but Claudio, having won it, left the following year.
Yeah.
We have got those expectations, which are only maybe now starting to come through with Brendan Rodgers. Now, obviously, you're an Evertonian, and he's obviously got his red side of Liverpool links. Were you surprised when he came to us?
No, I wasn't actually. I think he'd done everything he could possibly physically do at Celtic anyway, and he won everything he ever competed for. You know, I thought when he was at Liverpool, he was unfortunate because the year before he nearly won the league for them. Leicester was a great fit for him. It was a perfect size club. The infrastructure was there, the foundations were there, and he seems to have taken it on to the next level now. Now, Brendan Rodgers, obviously with his links to Liverpool, I've got my own feelings about him, but there's no real ill feelings towards him, and I think actually he probably, if we hadn't messed around with Koeman and Silva and Allardyce, he could have been a good fit for us at some point as well. But we've got Ancelotti, you've got Rodgers. Probably both quite happy with that.
Yeah, I'm going to come on to Ancelotti in a minute. We're just going to take a quick 10-second break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk Ancelotti.
Hi, Alan Smith here. Be sure to watch and listen to Chris on Leicester Till I Die TV. You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels. Up the Foxes!
Yeah, thanks, Alan. Ancelotti, he is the manager that always seemed to get linked with us every time a job came up, and he never expressed any desire of wanting to come to us. Claudio came instead one time. Of course, we know where that left. When you got him, I mean, you're talking to a manager that he's done it in the Premier League. He's done it in virtually most leagues, decent leagues across Europe. You must have been sort of running around the room, waving your shirt around when you appointed him.
To be honest, I really was. It was probably about this time last year, if not maybe a week before. And I couldn't believe it. We'd been linked with David Moyes as always.
Yeah.
A few other names in the hat. And when Ancelotti came out as the front runner, I think a lot of Evertonians were thinking, this is the man we need. This is what we approve, because we had a group of players that were underperforming, but everyone was blaming the manager. Now, when Carlo Ancelotti comes in, you can't blame the manager as much.
No.
Because he's, like you said, he's done it all. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Premier League. So when you got players playing for a manager, with no disrespect to Marco Silva, but who's not like a seasoned winner, the players get away with it a little bit more. So I was absolutely ecstatic when Carlo Ancelotti became the manager of Everton Football Club.
Yeah, and as I think I say, any club I think that gets him would. I mean, Allardyce, I think he came in to do a job for you, didn't he? Which
I mean, I think that he was a bit of a panic appointment. We'd sacked Koeman, then we actually, funnily enough, Unsworth was in charge, and we came down to the King Power and got beat 2-0. And I think after we thought, because we were abysmal that day, I was there, and we needed to get.
Oh, you've frozen there, Mikey. Can you hear me at all? I don't know. I think his internet might have gone. Just while we're doing that, we're going to say afternoon to Dale. If you can still hear me, Mikey, you have frozen. You might want to sort of reload and see if you can get back on again.
Someone in.
Oh, he's. I think that's what he's doing. So, afternoon, Dale. How's the missus? I hope she's well. Sorry, you've only got me this afternoon. You haven't got Brad or Mark. And this one, Brazil. You can send me some of those drugs. Brazil. I'm sure that means something, and I'm sure it's referring to something I've said. But you're going to have to, whoever that is, you haven't got your name there, whoever that is, I've no idea. If you are watching on Facebook, do what Dale's done. Just click on that StreamYard link, and it brings your Facebook details up. I can see who I'm talking to. So I say, give my best to the Mrs. Dale, and tell her same time next week. welcome back, Mikey. We lost you there completely. You froze, and
just to talk about your guy that said about the drugs in Brazil. He said when you played AEK Athens, you look like Brazil. I think that's probably
right. Yeah, you remember it more than I do. Yes.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Wi-Fi must have dropped out for a moment.
Yeah, it's all right. Not a problem. You're back. I think we were talking about Mr. Allardyce.
He steadied the ship, didn't he? We looked in freefall when we initially appointed him. So he did what he had to do. And again, once we stayed up, and I think we finished 8th that year. We went out silver, and it was another gamble on a young manager. It was Roberto Martinez, Mark II, played nice, but couldn't defend.
I mean, with Allardyce, he's never going to be one of those managers that he does what he does. He's the Red Adair, of the Premier League. He's doing what Warnock used to do years ago, or Dave Bassett used to do. He tried to do it with us. It didn't work with us, but his managers come in. But he's never the manager to take you onto that next level. No. And Silva, when you appointed Silva, reminded me pretty much. We appointed Paulo Sousa, who was at Swansea just before we got Pearson back, and he was supposed to be like the next best thing. And you take a gamble sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's very, very, very few and far between where these gambles pay off at the top level.
Yeah,
I liked Marco Silva. I thought he was a nice guy. I saw the pain on his face last year when Inacio scored that goal in the last. That was, the VAR. Did he get originally ruled out for offside and then got...
Yeah, and then the VAR got it right, I'd like to say,
No qualms with the decision, but I saw the pain in his face and he was like a So we've got the right man now anyway, Carlo Ancelotti. So, it's performances like last night where we're sound defensively, we do everything we need to do, and we come away with the makes you realise that under previous regimes we might not have won that game. We probably would have folded in half. So pleased at the moment.
I mean, I mean, you started off, you were top of the league at one point, and then you kind of disappear somewhere, and you're slowly coming back up. It is a tight league. You can win a couple of games and be back in the top 4. What are you really sort of hoping for this season?
Well, I think the get this trophy drought off our back. It will be 26 years, won't it, since we won the FA Cup.
I thought you were going to burst into song then, 3 Lions or something.
Not something to sing about that, but that for me, if we could win the Carabao Cup, like I say, and finish in the top 8, that is a marked improvement. I would love to be competing for the top 4. And I probably would have said to you at the start of the season, we could have done that, especially the first 5 games. But after the way we've played against Fulham, even though we won the game, against Burnley and Leeds, Man United, I don't know whether that's a realistic target yet.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you looked at just last season, like you say, we just sort of missed out at the last minute to Man United, and that they got our Champions League place, and that worked out really well for them, didn't it? But do you sort of look at Leicester, know what we've sort of done? And I know you can say it's a one-off; it might not happen again. But do you look at us for inspiration?
I think the 15-16 league title win was a wonderful sort of Cinderella story, wasn't it? And he was brilliant that year, and everybody was saying, they won't win it, they'll fall off, they'll drop off, and everyone can still pat them on the back at the end of the season saying that they had a good year. But the fact that you showed the mentality to go on and win it, that was great. And I was chuffed for you. I thought it was. Now, yeah, I mean, I would just like Everton to be doing what Leicester do more consistently, which is, you beat top teams. You are, even if it's like two or three places above us in the league at the minute. So you're the sort of team we need to be level pegging with.
Yeah. I think we're very similar on a lot of levels. I look at Everton as sort of, a club that didn't do much for many years, and that's no disrespect, but the potential is there, and we're slowly getting it together. I mean, if we can sort of hold on to Brendan, and I think he will stay with us. I mean, he will eventually move on because Leicester still are in that sort of, not quite the top group, if you like. But we do sort of, we lose our best players, and we lose Harry Maguire as well. But that's another story. But the potential is there, and the potential is there for you. And if Ancelotti can just get it right, both of our clubs could be there.
It is real fine margins. You look at the teams that have been at the top. I know Man City haven't been particularly. At Liverpool, they've had a few injuries. They've not played well, but they've still won games. And I shouldn't really be singing their praises too much. I'll probably get slaughtered by them.
It's all right. Nobody watches this. Don't worry about it.
We turned over Tottenham on the first. And they've been pretty consistent then. So they are the clubs that Leicester and Everton should be aspiring to be. But the quality of the league that we're in now is so much more competitive and so much higher than it was 10, 15 years ago. Because there are 10 or 11 teams that can go out and spend big money in the transfer window. Leicester and Everton included in those. We can't go back to pound players, but you can still spend 30, 40 million pounds. Yeah. So it has made it a lot more difficult for the likes of us as well.
But it is becoming a lot more, even playing field. When you look a couple of years ago, Man City went in for Johnny Evans, were offering silly money. West Brom, who were trying to stay up that season, knew that they could turn it down because even coming bottom, they'd get a lot of money. But we're playing each other on Wednesday. I want to come and talk about that game in a second. Just take another quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll look at Wednesday's game.
You're watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris, Craig, Scott, Brad and Mark.
It is indeed. First of all, I'm going to give Mrs. Twigger a wave. Hello, Mrs. Twigger. It's an in-joke. Sorry, by the way, there, Mickey. It's an ongoing in-joke. These managers are only quick fixes. They run out of steam. I put Prell in that category. I brought that up early, but yeah, that's fairly true. I think stability all over the field is the first thing needs to be done before going for cups. I think we're there now and competing for silverware. I think it is all about getting consistency, and going through managers, as we've done probably more than you recently, doesn't help. But it's Amazon. It's Wednesday. How do you think Everton are going to face that? You're away at us, and we've not played very well at home. We played better away this season. Yeah. How do you think you're going to tackle us?
Well, I think, to be honest, it will probably be quite similar to what we did against Chelsea. I think we'll let you have the ball, get you to come and break us down. We've always got goals in our team. It would very much. James Rodriguez was injured last night, so.
And you've frozen again. You see, it's these northern Wi-Fi people. You see, they don't have it properly up north anymore. And I think he's gone. It'd be interesting to see. I don't know, the guys that are watching, what you think is, how do you think we will approach it? We've had that back three up, and I think you're back again.
I don't know what's going on.
I can say it's grim up north, isn't it?
It's today, I have to tell you,
yeah. But you're back. But yeah, so you were saying Rodriguez was out.
Oh, Rodriguez was out yesterday, so Sigurdsson came in. But if you looked at Everton's lineup on Saturday against Chelsea, I think it'll be similar to what we do against your boys on Wednesday. I think you as the home team have got to come and break us down. But we're dangerous. We've got goals in our team. So,
I mean, we look at the games we've played, and when we've been playing what I would class, and no disrespect to the bottom of the league, but the better teams, and I would put Everton in there. We've given them a lot of possession. With Arsenal, I mean, it was 1-0. It was like two heavyweight boxers slugging each other out. We just let them come at us and let them wear themselves out. It could end up being like the most boring 0-0 we've ever seen, because there are goals in there. Calvert-Lewin is obviously one of the guys. Anybody else we should fear from the Everton side?
Richarlison is always good for an assist or a goal. Obviously, James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Our midfield of Allen and Doucouré as well are difficult to play against if they're on song. So yeah, I think it's going to be two evenly matched teams.
Yeah,
could be quite a sort of people going into that game with trepidation and more concerned about not losing.
Yes, yeah, and we've suffered so badly, and I always hated it when people used to blame injuries for, we've got a bad injury list, that's why we're not doing well, especially when it was the likes of Man United and Liverpool and the big teams that have got their second squads better than our first squad. But us, and in fairness, Liverpool this season, we were both up there with the most injuries. We had sort of our whole back four out at one point, and that said, all credit to the guys. We're still fourth and we're still through in Europe. Who in the Leicester squad do you think is going to cause you problems?
Well, I don't know what your starting lineup will be. But
no, we don't know.
Jamie Vardy's playing, then he's going to be one.
Yeah,
it's Maddison.
Maddison should be fit. He should be fit for tonight. The problem with Maddison is we've got it's whether he picks him or not, and he should be, but he's not been sort of on form with his corners and his free kicks recently. And we got under in on the other night against Athens, and he was actually getting the balls past the first man at corners, but he doesn't like to start him on Premier League games. So yeah, I think Maddison will be there, and Tielemans,
Maddison, and Vardy.
Yeah,
always look at in the Leicester City squad, because obviously not being a Leicester City fan, I don't watch Leicester's games as often. Obviously, as I do.
Really, why not? It's got to be more exciting than watching Everton, surely.
Oh,
that might come back and bite me on the bum.
Like in my team, but I love you. I like your goalkeeper as well.
Yeah,
I really like your goalkeeper. I've been a fan of him. But you've got good players all over the pitch. I think one of Leicester's biggest, strongest points from an outsider looking in is that you're a good team. You're not a team full of individual superstars. You're a good. Rodgers has got you playing together as I don't know whether you. That's just certainly.
No. I think you would agree. I mean, I don't think we've got a Paul Pogba. That said, I don't think Man United have got a Paul Pogba at the moment. I know I'm having a lot of digs at Man United, but there's nothing like kicking a team when they're down, especially when it is Man United. But I've been holding off on this, to be honest with you. But seeing as you've mentioned Casper, I'm going to have to throw it back at you and mention Pickford. He has come in for some. I mean, he's England goalkeeper. He had a brilliant World Cup the other year. I'm going to say with the penalties, etc. And he's getting a hell of a lot of stick. Now, I'm like you. There's a blue flashing light behind you. That's not the cops outside, is it?
It's my.
but sorry, I shouldn't. But no, he's coming for a lot of stick as Pickford. Has it been justified?
Look, I tell you, yes and no. It's very difficult. Jordan Pickford has kept us in some games with some absolutely world-class saves, but he does stupid mistakes. Jordan Pickford's biggest crime was injuring Virgil van Dijk this season. and the media started crying about it because Liverpool are their chosen ones and they can't stand it when anything happens against them. That's why Pickford, the media, the poor fella had to hire bodyguards to look after his family. He was getting death threats, and media reacted after that was disgusting.
It does go too far sometimes, isn't it?
He's a footballer. He didn't mean to do it. He's erratic, Pickford, but at times, yesterday he made some great saves. So I'm gonna sit on the fence with that one, I'm afraid, mate, and say yes.
But you still have him. He's still like the number one between the sticks. You can't see him being dropped or anything.
Olsen came in against who's our reserve keeper, came in against Newcastle. Didn't really do much wrong, but Pickford's still the best keeper at the club for me. Yeah. I would say it's an area we need to improve on if we want to push on.
Yeah, I mean, we're the same. In Casper, you can't sort of not pick him, but he does have his moments, certainly with his, especially because Rodgers likes to play out from the back, and it scares me sometimes when teams do that.
It fills me with dread when we start.
You're always one missed kick away from conceding a goal, But I mean, Mikey, it's been great to have you on. I'm going to end now with obviously the normal question, which is sort of give us a score prediction.
Score prediction, 1-1.
Now, funny you should say that. I'm just about to get it up here because we have a connection. We have quite a few connections. When we do the preview show, which we're doing on Tuesday, I do a bit of a compilation of players who have played for both sides.
Okay.
I mean, you'll obviously Mike Newell is one. In fact, I tell you what. Let me. I'm not sure if I've got it on this one or not, so I might not be able to bring it up. Yes, I have. Let's have a look at some players who've got a foot in both camps and see. You'll probably remember most of these. I wouldn't mind a few of those in my team now. I don't know about you.
Yakubu, I'd forgotten about him as well.
I think we had him on loan for a little bit. He wasn't a long term, but of course Gary Lineker went to yourselves.
Certainly, I wouldn't mind Gary Lineker playing up front now, though.
Sometimes I think the way we're playing, even at his age, he could probably get a couple. Especially if it was him or Inacho, I think everybody would go for Lineker. But bringing that up actually gave me time just to bring this up because one of those guys, Ian Marshall.
Yeah.
I don't know what your memories of Ian are.
Absolutely none, to be honest.
Well, thanks. I mean, I was supposed to play me into the next link here.
I must have. What year did he play for Everton?
I'm not. It was a while ago. In fairness, it was a while ago. It was in the sort of mid-90s that he played for us. But we have a bit of a prediction league going on the website www.leicestertillidie.com. Yeah. And Ian Marshall's one of the ex-players that we've got in now. Ian Marshall's gone. He's gone actually for an Everton win. I mean, I love the guy. He doesn't actually. He says what he thinks. He doesn't. And he's gone for a 2-1 to you.
I'll take that, Ian. I'll take that all day.
Yeah. Steve Lynix, he's sat on the fence for us. He's gone 1-1. And then Steve Walsh, you may or may not know, he agreed with me and he's gone 2-1 to Leicester.
2-1. So it's a pretty even across the board, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Just remind me, so what did you go for?
1-1.
You went for 1-1, yeah. I always find it difficult to predict against my team. But we are in the process. We can always concede a goal in us. So, and especially with the guys you've got up front. But hey, Mike, it's been great to have you on. Thanks very much.
Anytime. Thank you so much for having me on, and good luck in your game today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's another bottom of the table ish clash, so it's a bit of a a banana skin for us this season. It's a bit weird because, like I say, we've got that game before we've got your game. Wish you all the best. Hope you do have a good season. Hope Ancelotti can do something for you, starting obviously from Thursday onwards.
Yeah.
And I would love to have you back on for the return leg if you are free for that.
Absolutely. You just let me know the time and the place, and I'll be there.
Brilliant. Whenever it is, you can't plan too much this season. I was writing in my diary all the shows, and all the matches are going to get changed at the last minute for telly. But hey, take care and stay safe and have a really good Christmas.
You too. Take care.
All right, mate. Take care. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was Mikey there from the County Road Bobblers, Everton. It's been weird talking about Everton when we've still got Brighton tonight. Don't forget we'll be back tonight after the game. Thanks very, very much for watching. It's a funny time. I say it's always with the extra games at Christmas. But don't forget, you can catch us on Catch Up if it's Leicester Till I Die TV. If you want to watch us, that's on YouTube. And like I always say, press that subscribe button and press the notification button as well. And if you want to listen to us, catch us up, we're on all the podcast sites. There's Leicester Till I Die, the main one, Spotify, Google, Apple, and Anchor, of course. You're going to catch me back later. We're going to be back about 10 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to be doing the post-match show, and it'll be a little case of myself. To keep Mrs. Twigger happy, we're going to welcome back Brad. So Dale, get your missus on tonight about 10 o'clock. Give her let her stay up for the night and come and join us and have a session with Brad, as they say. And we'll be joined by ex-Fox Julian Watts, who is going to be doing our post-match show. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much. Whatever you do the rest of the day, don't do anything I won't enjoy. And here's to 3 points this afternoon against Brighton. Take care, guys.
Hi,
Bye-bye.
this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Shut up and sit down.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.